Hi guys and welcome back to the channel, and today I've got an announcement to make, and that is that I've joined the CC program. So now I'm technically a community contributor. So for this video, since it's an announcement video, I thought I'd go back and pick two replays up that I had before I did my commentary days. And I picked two good games that I had, one in the E50m, this game now, and one in the M48 pattern. These were games that I had a little while ago, so obviously it's pre 5.0. There's no PS4 players, no no cross-play, all that sort of thing, no new maps. And these were good games I had, right, in the E50m and the M48 pattern. And obviously I didn't do commentary back then. They were just raw games, clipped, or put up or clipped together with another game. And I think these were in the early days as well, so these two games might not have been seen by many people. So I thought this would be a good way, well, these would be good videos, or good games for the video, for the announcement. I've got to say thank you to Lemonhead for advocating for me, because he's done a good job of doing that for me, so I've got to say thank you to him. Obviously I say thank you to Swindle and that for having me all the time and playing with Turkey and all those guys. So thank you to them very much. And yeah, that's the thing that's happened. It surprised me when it did, but okay. So on to the E50m game. Now the E50m is a solid tank. It's a tank I really do enjoy because I love the gun. The gun is sexy. It's one of those pinpoint guns that will more than likely hit every time you fire. Obviously RNG dependent, as is everything in this game. It is kind of a relic in the fact that it's never... Obviously it got nerfed back when the E50 got nerfed. And they nerfed the DPM, but I mean the DPM nerf basically made it... I think it went from a 7.2 reload to a 7.4 reload or something like that. It was negligible. But the thing is, it's still one of the worst DPMs in class anyway. So it's kind of a relic in the fact that it's, it's got pretty good armour. The turret armour's not good. That's the weak spot. It's got good upper hull armour. It can side scrape quite nicely. The gun handling is fabulous. Shell velocity is great. The pen is fantastic. It just reloads slowly for a medium tank. The DPM's not that good, and it kind of struggles in that way if you compare it to everything else. As I say, it's not kept up with the times as much, but it can still be fun. And I'd say I like it just for the reliability, the reliability of the gun. So, well, yeah, like all the other German mediums, and it fits me more, thinking about it, it fits me more than the Leopard 1 does. Both this and the Leopard 1 have, I think they're pretty much the same gun stats, except for there's probably a bit of aim time difference. So the gun's the same on both, the pen's same, so they're both beautiful guns. But this is more my playstyle than the Leopard, because I can be aggressive, and as you can see, you can bounce things. Right now, I would have lost, what, 1200 odd health to that stockade, but he bounced every single shell because I'm an E50m and he didn't really aim. So we're just putting this gun to work with it, and that stockade got wrecked. But like I said, that's where the armour's good. Like you can bounce stuff. The turret armour isn't great. It's only about 185mm of armour. And the cheeks are flat, so if people properly aim for the flat spots, they can pen it so very easily. So we come up on this machine, and we're going to do what you always want to do to a machine, and that is just pin it down, just track it. So we go for the drive wheel, and unfortunately we didn't pen that, well, we didn't track that one, we penned it. But he bounced all but one on me. I'm trying to track it. And I'll always tell you, machines, as much they do YOLO about, and it's a ridiculously good tank, they're very easy to track and pen. It can be facing you head on, and you can track and pen it by shooting the drive wheel. Because it's only got 30mm of armour on the side, so it can be overmatched by like 91mm plus caliber guns. So if you've got like 100, most tanks at this tier have 100mm, 105s, 120s, you know, all that. They will pen it and track it reliably. If you don't track it, you'll pen it. And that is a good way to stop them when they're charging, because a lot of them do seem, well, they do charge. It's like the charge of machine. They sprint in and then try and ram you and get a clip off. Well, the way to stop them doing that, or to even when they're progressing over open ground, is just to shoot the tracks. Because it's very easy to track them, and then they just spin round, and then they're kind of helpless. So we've loaded heat right here, because we're not going to muck about with this E100. We're just going to sling them through his turret. And like that, see, that's what's sad about the E100, is the fact that it loaded the heat shells. His turret was angled decently away from me, that turret front where I just penned then. But I've got like 340 heat pen, so my heat doesn't care, just flies straight through it. Which is why I like the VK7201K better than the E100. Because, yeah, the heat rounds will go through the lower plate of a VK7201K. And they can pen the little cheek spots, but it's not very reliable. You know, the reliability of penning those cheek spots isn't there. You do get like random ricochets, which means the armour of it is a bit more reliable than the E100, as well as, but you've got like the same gun stats pretty much near enough. So right now we're just charging down, chasing. Damage now, we're at 6.3k, 5 kills, and right now I just want my 6th kill, sorry, I want my top gun. So there's this E100 here in front of us, and we're going to go for him, and I think, well, I'm already loaded APCR, so I'm going to stick with that. But I've got 270 pen, so I can go through this guy's lower plate quite easily, so if he's facing me like this, I'll just consistently go through it. It's 270 pen. And that's fantastic. The only issue is, obviously, it's APCR, so sometimes you will get a ricochet. And I do have the health, so I just sat there and took the hit so I could get the kill and get the top gun. I'm at 7.5k damage now, well, 7.9k damage now, 1500 assistance, and we're just charging this SU-130PM. And we'd pop a shot into the top of his thing. And if we'd loaded HE there, which I was thinking about at the time, we would have killed him. But we didn't, and we low rolled for 348. Even with a decent roll, we might have killed him. And I'm currently chasing that 7th kill, but unfortunately, the T57 Heavy shuts him down. And this is where the E50m gun's beautiful, because we're aiming at that lower plate, and there's not much to aim at, but it flies straight in, and we get the 7th kill anyway. So, and that's what I mean about the E50m gun, because it's just beautiful. Slim to nothing shots. Fly in more often than not. It's fantastic. So we get Ace Tanker, High Caliber, Devastator, Top Gun, Steel Wall, 8.7k damage, 1500 assistance, that's 10k combined, 1974 base XP, 34 shots fired, 26 hits, 24 pens. A lot of the misses were those shots at the start when I was blind firing across the middle. And it's just a fantastic tank. It probably just needs a little bit of love. Compared to this tank, which is an unbelievable tank. The M48 pattern is just fantastic. It's unbelievable all-rounder. It got so much love that makes it one of the top medium tanks at tier 10. Because it's got bouncy turret armour. It's not perfectly reliable turret armour, but if you hold down, you will bounce a hell of a lot. The gun's good. It's not as beautiful as the E50m, because the E50m's got like 0.3 accuracy. This is like 0.36, I want to say. DPM is fantastic. The snapshot ability that this thing has is unbelievable. It doesn't have to aim all that often. You can snap shots on the move so easily. It's a great all-rounder. The one thing it lacks is that great mobility that a lot of mediums have. It's got a 45km/h top speed. But for the most part, it doesn't really matter. So we've come to the very, a very, very good spot on Kit's map. And it's South Coast, or whatever this map, whatever the normal map's called for this. But we don't see that anymore. I think it is South Coast. Possibly. Or Serene Coast. It might even be Serene Coast, actually. But we've come to this position at C1, which is fantastic. You can use these bushes that I'm using right here to stay unspotted. You can poke through the bushes and spot everyone down that line, and then you can pull back and fire through them like this and stay unspotted. And this is on Derp Diggler, where my crew is about 6 skills, I'll say 7 skills. I don't even think I have the camo crew yet, the camo skill. So this isn't like a full potential crew. And we are staying concealed against these guys very easily while just pummeling shots in down range. And you can see the DPM is fantastic. We're really working them over. And in 2.5 minutes, we're at 3.1k damage. That medium down there is doing a great job of keeping them all lit. So he's going to probably end up coming out of this with a load of assistance. But we're just trying to put shots in. So that IS-7 was a bit too awkward now to pen, just from his positioning. So we've switched our attention now to the T-30, which is a dangerous tank. And we don't want it to stay alive, because it could kill our medium quite easily. But he's also an easy pen. So there's no point wasting shells at the IS-7 hoping for a pen when we can get this guy who was out in the open. Unfortunately, he shuts down the 907, but we shut him down. So that's a good one. And right now, I was trying to poke through the bush a bit to spot them, but I get detected, so I'm just going to pull back a little bit to make sure that I don't get wrecked as I pull forward. There's this AMX M451, which is a very awkward customer, even at close range. So we're just going to get some heat in to deal with it, but then this IS-7 gets spotted, and the heat rounds on this tank will go through that IS-7's upper plate very easily. Even at that angle he's at there, so like that, it goes through the pike nose. There is the chance you can hammer rack an IS-7 going through the pike nose like that. But the problem is, if you shoot the side like that, you will only track it. So we fire that one, it goes through his upper plate blind. He must be a one-shot now. And we're going to see if he's still there, but he's not. Well, he's either not or it bounced, one of the two. In fact, it looks like he was still there, but it bounced. And we kill him, we shut him down. 3 kills, 4.5k damage now. And there's still these guys in front of us. So we switch our aim across to the AMX M451. And like I say, at range, he's an awkward customer. But with heat, we can especially with him angling sort of, I think he's slightly angled down, so we can pen his upper plate with the heat. And we just want to get rid of them. So ricochet off the chieftain, we switch back to APCR, and we're going to switch our angle of attack now. And while we are where we are, we want to push so we can get some spots. So now that that guy down there is gone, we're not getting any spots. So we're pushing to the other side of that little ridge, where we'll be able to spot them easier because we're slightly closer and we can use the fantastic 420 view range of the M48 pattern to light them up. Problem is, obviously, we're going to get spotted ourselves all the time, but it's worth it for trying to keep them lit and be able to get shots. And we're good hull down as well in the pattern, so it's not as much of a concern because you'll be able to bounce things. So this AMX M451 is turned his attention, gave us the side of his turret, lovely shot through it. 5.8k damage now, 1300 resistance, and we're on 5 kills. So again, we're on the chase for the top gun. The scores are pretty even. It's 87. They've still got 6 people alive. So, and they've just evened the scores up as well. So we need to get over there and work the team over. We need to try and put some help in, get some damage out, and restrict them. To be honest, they're all not that healthy. Like this Centurion 7, we get really unlucky not to kill him. And there's a Foch 145-55 that could hurt. And as soon as he missed, I knew if he's got the big gun, I knew that I had 5 seconds. Because that's how long I think that's how long it takes to put the intra clip of the shell in. So I knew I could get that shot off without taking a hit from the Foch. Obviously, if he had the 120, he'd have hit me again. But at the same time, if he's got the 120, he's not going to slap me for 770 or whatever it is the big gun has. So I knew I could take a hit if it was the 120, and it had that faster intra clip. So I did have that second of thought of just firing and seeing if I take a hit or not. And we shut down the Death Star as well, which is quite nice. We get our top gun, we're on 7.3k damage, and there's still these guys over here. Now they're running to go and attack our light tank. I don't know if they're in a platoon. They might have been in a platoon, so they've just decided to go gang up on the Tusk. And nobody hurts my Tusk. The Tusk, look at that. I mean, Tusk looks after itself. He pens the T-95 E6, burns it and kills it. And now this STB-1 is mine. I'm coming for him now. We pop a shot in, 450, and we're going for the ram. We ram it, 156, he's now ours. We kill him, 7 kills, 8k damage now, there's 1 tank left. And we're going to go shut it down. We're still healthy enough that we can always take a hit. And I think that was an E100, so we're loading the heat because, yeah, easier to pen an E100 if it faces us through the turret, especially if it angles the lower plate down. We always make sure that we're going to get that pen, and we are now chasing the Radley Walters medal, and we want it. We're at 8k damage as well, so there's a chance we could hit higher than, well, we could hit about 9k. He takes a hit from someone, we pop over, pop a shot into the E100, break his turret, someone else shoots him for 316, and will we get the kill? Yes, 114 damage. There you go, so we finished this game with 8.5k damage, 1300 spotting of what we saw. And that was just a perfect example of what the M48 pattern can do. Get it on a ridgeline, keep spotting targets, just keep the gun firing. And in factual fact, because we got that blind fire on that IS-7 earlier on, we get an ace tanker, Radley Walters, Devastator, Top Gun, high caliber, 9k damage, and 1300 assisted. And it just shows everything that's so good about the M48 pattern, and it's why it's one of my favourite medium tanks to play. So, yeah, I'm now a part of the CC program. And, as always, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching.